Uh, I mean, like, I don't mind both, but I think like meeting girls at the social is uh much more, I would say, ideal way to do. Like, yeah,
Easier, maybe?
easier, and
The
I think like
atmosphere around.
atmosphere around it just gives you that comfort. So you got your boys around, like staff around, and like so you will be at first maybe you might get frozen up or like you might be shy or hesitant or something like that. But once you get into the rhythm, like after 5-10 minutes, you'll be fine. You just go and talk to people because like it's the socials, everybody's there for the same thing. It's the same goal, just to find their right man or woman, like the right partner. So like just keep talking and see where the how the chemistry goes with each and everyone, and then find your girl. Yeah, I think like socials are the best way to actually meet the girl rather than one on one. Yeah.
And in on the tour, there was a lot of guys.
Yes.
Sometimes you were dating the same girls.
Yes.
Um, how do you feel being around all the guys? Did you make any friends?
Yes, I made some good friends. And also like share some stories and we hang out and even going on the tours, like we're just having a good chat and everything. Definitely we exchanged numbers, we made a group chat, and we decided that to like if anyone is like a successful story, please share because we just want every man to be successful. You know, that's why.
Did you
It's a good bonding.
did you meet any like good girls that can be the option for the future wife?
Yes, definitely. Definitely, yeah. There are like two women. Obviously, I think like if you watch my interests before, I'm a very picky person. So I think like I got,
Yes.
yeah. So there are like two girls. I think I can't remember how many girls I met, and in the socials or like a one-on-ones. And I think there are two women like in my top list, and like I'm thinking to communicate further. Like even though if I go back home and see how it goes. Yeah.
Right about that, about coming back.
Hmm.
Do you have a plan? Because long-term relationship, long-distance relationships,
Yeah.
it is hard to maintain.
Of course.
And you usually have to have a plan.
Yes.
Do you have a plan where you're gonna meet them, or in how many months is you planning to meet somewhere, or in Ukraine?
I'm actually open to that, but for me, the main thing is how the relationship develops with this woman. So that is actually what I'm focusing on. If that is really strong, then I'm actually open to meet anywhere, Ukraine, anywhere in Europe. It depends. I can just pack my luggage and then just get on a flight. Even though I live far away in New Zealand, 35 hours flight, I don't mind because it is worth, because you're looking for a life partner. It is very important. But for me, rather than planning a trip where to meet, I focus on building a relationship with that woman. See, it has to be very strong.
Guys, welcome. Questions about international dating and marriage. We do have a poll question for you tonight, though, which is, have you ever dated someone from another country? So share your experience. Let's talk about it. And let me start by, the usual announcements. I'm gonna talk about our upcoming seminars, which the next one is gonna be here in Phoenix in less than a couple of weeks. So you're more than welcome to attend if you live in the area, and if you don't, definitely come over still. And we have guys flying from different cities. Last time we had guys flying from the East Coast, New York and Boston, all the way here. So really looking forward meeting in person. We're gonna have a lot of AFA staff members here, of course, John and Tanya. So we will be answering your questions. You can meet some guys that have been taking tours. I don't know if we're gonna have some. Most likely, we're gonna have some couples that met through us. So coming in, they're gonna be food and drink also provided, which it's not gonna hurt to have extra free bonuses. And seminar is completely free. It lasts about 4 hours, and again, it's very informative. We're also gonna have a London seminar, so if you live in UK or somewhere in Europe for that matter, you can fly and attend it, but just make sure you RSVP so we expect you there so we can plan accordingly. and Los Angeles seminar on August 22nd. And guys, if you're thinking about attending a Los Angeles seminar, we're also gonna have those social events with Chinese ladies that flying all the way to California from China to meet you, and some of them are going to be local as well, but for the most of it, it's going to be Chinese ladies traveling across the ocean just to meet you guys. So make sure you contact Michelle to sign up for those socials. They're going to be actually 4 different events, so contact Michelle for that. And to remind you about upcoming group tours, we have a Costa Rica tour, July 2nd. So great way to spend 4th of July holidays. You're not only getting vacation, but you're also meeting a lot of beautiful ladies. Barranquilla, Colombia, July 9th, basically right after that. And also Medellin, Colombia, August 13th. Cebu, Philippines, end of August, August 20th. So many great tours this summer. Definitely recommend to sign up for one of them. And we do have few spots left for my October tour to Ukraine, so it's not sold out. I think we have like 3 spots left. So if you're interested in going to a wonderful city of Kiev with me, I'll be happy to take you there. It's going to be definitely a very interesting experience, to say the least, but I'm really looking forward to it. I love Kiev, and everything that's going on, it's still going to be a great experience. We're expecting about 150 ladies at each of the social events, plus minus. So, and those ladies are waiting to meet you. One more thing I wanted to say: we are partnering with one of the production team. They're gonna be a reality show, so there is a casting call for that reality show. So if you're interested in attending a tour and participating in a reality show, please reach out to us. Well, you can contact Michelle, and she will send you the questionnaire to complete, and we'll contact you from that point to see if it's something you're interested, if you're a good fit, and take it from there. So yeah, contact Michelle, groupdesk@lovememail.com, or any of us, and we'll just point you out in the right direction in case if you can't remember Michelle's email. All right, guys, it's definitely a very interesting opportunity, and yeah, so if you're thinking about something like this, contact us. And with that being said, we have a lot of great video footage for you from Costa Rica, which is going to be very, very interesting with upcoming Costa Rica tour, and Colombia. So if you're contemplating about going to Latin America and meet Costa Rican or Colombian ladies, that's a great information for you. So let's go watch that, and then I'm going to answer your questions.
There's more to it than most people understand. Gosh, you can feel the energy up there. They're alive. It's amazing to see that.
Hello. Police. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm okay.
Good. Your name is?
Heidi.
Heidi, nice to meet you. Joe Hines.
Ah, mi amor.
¿Cómo estás?
We have the first activity on Saturday. This is the city tour on the sea.
Right.
To go to the touristic places. So I want to know if you are interested to do it. It's included for you. You don't have to pay for this.
Because I wanted to get to know the culture, because it's better to know the culture, because if you're going to introduce yourself, it's nice to know do's, don'ts, what they like, and where they come from.
Perfect.
All the time.
At the social, though, it was very interesting because you get to meet people and all these different ladies. But when you get to take them and have them on a personal date, you learn more about them.
What's that? Okay.
I mean, we understand each other even without words. We went with an interpreter first couple days. Now we are using translators, but half the time we don't even use a translator. We understand each other enough.
In another language. That's right.
This is a video. Please say hello.
It's not convenient for you. It's better to change in pesos.
Don't always look at a profile because the profile is only a smidge of who they are. You need to experience it by meeting them in person because not until then do you actually get to know the lady. And at that point, that's when you know when you click.
That's right. That's right.
Bueno, me he sentido muy contenta. Además de eso, ayer nos trataron muy lindo. Los hombres son muy caballerosos. Pues él siempre está muy atento. Y me siento cómoda, me siento contenta.
Today was a great experience getting out to experience Colombia. And Nancy, on the other hand, is much different from, yesterday at the table because she's has more personality, more, you find out more about her. And it's not just about, hi, how you doing? There's more to her. And I was very happy to get to know her more as we get to experience Colombia together and get to know each other. Years I have waited to find someone like that I could click with, someone that understands me and I understand them. That is something unique. And to think of it, I found her here in Cartagena.
Oh, she has to mention again that she loves your eyes.
Oh, thank you. She's spectacular. She doesn't have any wrinkles, beautiful lips, sparkling eyes. Because I was at the table and I was looking at her and I'm like, but I didn't want to offend the other ladies by keep looking at her.
I'll admit I was very nervous coming. I did a lot of research. I had expectations. I don't want to say they were great. I thought maybe meeting 1 or 2 or 3 pretty women, it would be worth it. My expectations were absolutely blown away.
So my date and I were really enjoying each other's company and I wanted to take it to the next level because the chemistry was really growing and you could just feel it. Salud.
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 Salud. Salud.
She say you look like an actor.
Everybody always says, I look like this guy.
Que mucha gente le dice que se parece a ese.
That's all. She's taking care of you.
Very good.
Es una persona muy amable, es respetuosa, es cariñosa, chistoso. Las señas las hace silbando.
She's nice. She dresses really, really well. Ask her if she could send me some more of her pictures because I like to look at photography.
Que si le puede enviar más fotos.
Sí.
Yeah. Okay, we'll swap. We'll swap later.
Yo también.
You also have to send her in underwear.
Okay.
El 31 de diciembre.
Beautiful. Nice nails, good cook.
She loves being in the
We could
kitchen.
just get married on the way back to the hotel.
Que si ahorita que lleguemos al hotel se van a casar de una vez.
Sí, volvería a salir con él. La verdad me gustó y me sentí muy cómoda.
She really like you.
Yeah.
She's
really
been
like
telling
her
you, I
too.
really like him.
Really like her too, yeah.
That's
Very
nice.
nice girl, yeah.
One more.
Okay. Oh. Thank you.
I read a lot of reviews on the website, and so I said, you know what? Why not give it a try?
And how far? Good.
So far, I'm having a good experience.
Yeah, good, good.
Pero hablar de bellezas como Alemania está allá. Tampoco se crea mucha que belleza es Canadá.
It's going great. We feel very comfortable with each other. Very relaxed, and we have a great translator.
That's good. That would be my next question. Eso sería mi próxima pregunta. ¿Cómo hacen con la comunicación? Pero tienen traductora.
Tenemos traductora todo el tiempo. Sí.
¿Y cómo te sientes con eso?
¿Cómo?
Sí.
Sí, segura.
¿Mejor tener traductora o también dice, bueno, yo puedo sola?
No, traductora, celular, yo puedo sola, herramientas.
Sí, sí, sí. She's saying the translator is amazing, but I said, oh, and alone, would you do it alone? Yeah, with the app, or we going to do it. So
Yeah, Google Translate works
Yes.
well, you know?
Yeah.
It's exceeded my expectations. I mean, I had 3 dates in the first 2 days. I actually was a little tired. I had to take a break for one date. But the city is beautiful. I'm from New York City, and Medellin is absolutely beautiful. It's so green, the trees, the grass. I love the city and the people.
I can't do that.
She has to mention again that she loves your eyes.
Oh, thank you. She assembled her outfit very nicely today. She worked so hard. How do you think a family would work with the age gap?
Que siente que tal vez más fácil la familia, tal vez tuya podría tener un comentario. ¿Qué crees que pensaría tu familia?
Mi familia no opinaría, no se metería para nada con mi corazón. Lo importante es que ella sea feliz y que pueda amar a la persona que elija para ser feliz.
She said like her family wouldn't have an issue because they wouldn't like mess around the relationship or involve in her relationship or her decisions, because her family wants her to be happy and trust in her decision to be happy, and like the decision she makes of choosing a good man.
Very nice. Gracias. Oh, look at that.
Rico.
Rico.
Everybody here is talking about the new dress.
I would love to do it again. I found the lady I like, and I'm happy with her.
Yeah, the experience itself is just so great.
It's
that
amazing.
It's like you say, okay, I would love to do it again. Now I know what's coming and now what's
Exactly.
going on.
But at the beginning, it's like you're going on a boat and you don't know your direction. So.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm usually difficult to satisfy.
Okay.
But here we go. Well, it's honestly, I found something that I consider part of my wishes, and
that's a challenge for a lot of the men who come here, maybe the ones who are watching that say, okay, what can I expect? It's great that you say it's good not to expect nothing, let yourself surprise, because there will be always an uncertainty, and people don't like a lot of uncertainty. Like, we are usually like to plan and structure things to feel safe, and this is not like that, because you're dating, you're with, as you said, humans, emotions, different cultures, different expectations, different ages, whatever, different everything, and so there will always be that uncertainty, and that's also, I think, a lot for oneself to overcome as a personal grow.
You won't run out of time. They will keep arranging dates for you for the rest of your stay. They do a big job. To an extent, it's disturbing me. And I will say, just cool down, guys. I have one girl. I'm happy with her.
I don't want more. Don't go give me more.
But they're still offering me more advices and more really good techniques regarding this process. So just listen to their rules, and you will get the results you want.
Women in my country, it's a little more difficult to talk to them, Women in Costa Rica are more approachable. Costa Rican women, they're very beautiful, they're very passionate, they're easy to talk to. The best thing about the social is you get an opportunity to meet people face to face, talk to them one-on-one, and then you get the opportunity to see them outside the social. Like I said, a lot of dating sites, you just talk to people constantly. This site, you actually have the opportunity to come here and meet somebody face to face and see if you have a connection with somebody.
This is the most fun I've had in Costa Rica. There's beautiful women everywhere, granted, but these are some real genuinely beautiful. They all like to work out, so it's all qualities that I appreciate, and these women fit those qualities. The Costa Rican women really appreciate smaller things in life. I mean, of course, family is important with most cultures, but especially important with the Costa Rican women. Intelligent, beautiful. What else could you ask for?
They really want to get to know you and find out more about who we are, so we can maybe, have a connection.
Me encantaría estar con una persona estable, honrada, respetuosa y que lo primero para él sea la familia. Eso sería.
¿Qué te atrae de los hombres extranjeros?
El calor afectivo es completamente diferente a lo que nosotras las latinas tenemos, entonces creo que somos diferentes.
They are warm, they really want to meet somebody to take care of them and to grow with them, and I think more men need to come here. In North America and Canada and whatever, everybody's striving for materialism and for everything. And what has left, love has left. And coming here has really fulfilled in my life.
Soy comerciante hace 6 años, lo disfruto muy amenamente y es una grada, una escalera para progresar y ser alguien en un futuro o llegar a ser algo más en mi vida.
¿Qué valores consideras importantes en una pareja, en una relación a largo plazo?
La lealtad, la responsabilidad, la amabilidad y ante todo el respeto.
Me inscribí en la agencia más que todo por recomendación de mi jefa del trabajo, que ya ha venido acá, ¿verdad?, muchas veces. Y pues en este caso porque también siento que pues ya buscamos una estabilidad, ¿verdad? Buscamos lo que sería pues una manera ya un poquito más estable de vivir, ¿verdad? De convivir y siento que tal vez por eso fue que me inscribí más que todo.
There's a lot of women in the U.S. that are wanting open relationships, or they always think the grass is greener on the other side, so they're quick to end a relationship and move on. The culture is a bit different than the US. It's a bit more traditional, a bit more laid back. Everybody's just having a good time here. They're really good women. They're very beautiful and they're easy to talk to.
Have you had any trouble communicating with them?
No, I have not. They're looking for loyalty and they're looking for an actual relationship.
So, welcome everybody to San Jose, Costa Rica. We hope that this experience with us will be really successful and really productive for all of you guys. As you already know, my name is Gustavo Gonzalez, and this lady here next to me is Andrea, my sister, my assistant. Do not hesitate to contact us, okay? You already have our contact information, so you are welcome to write us anytime you consider it's necessary.
This way?
Okay, guys, this is another good restaurant, Spoon. Okay, it's on the second floor.
Oh, nice.
They serve good meal here, okay? And right next to Starbucks. Oh, okay. Okay. Gold diggers. You tell me, well, a lot of women in my country are gold diggers. Hey, no. Yes, unfortunately, that's not the case everywhere, okay? So it's just a matter of using common sense. People here in Costa Rica are happy in this country. So it is not that thinking like, okay, I'm going to meet somebody from the US so that I can get out of my country. No. If they find somebody, they just would like to continue living here with that person. However, for some guys, that is possible, not a problem. Hey, okay, if you don't want to go to the US with me, that's fine with me. I can relocate in your country. There are some other cases like it's impossible for me because of my job. Okay, not a problem. I can be relocated in your country, but hey, I will need to go back from time to time to my country in order to spend some time with my family.
Okay, I had a very closed idea because a friend I know brought me. Maybe I thought it was a little more tedious, a really closed off idea, but it's actually very calm. It's a very homey atmosphere. We're all really good. We feel really supported. By opening up, you meet people, you make friends, you meet new people in a super relaxed and healthy environment, and I liked it. We're very outgoing, almost all of us, and because I think it comes from the culture we live in every day. Besides being outgoing, I think we also have some values when it comes to family respect, and honestly, we're very open to meeting new people and not judging them. Something that even older people than us have noticed, that we already come with that mindset, so to speak, and it helps us get to know new people.
At the tables, we will have like some pieces of papers where they put their name, phone number, that you can contact the lady through WhatsApp, email address, and also the ID number. So before you leave each table, after your time is done on that table, you can ask the ladies, hey, who would like to share contact information with me? And they will give you this piece of paper.
This worked for me pretty well. When you're on a table and you take the paper for one lady, if you like the lady, put that paper in the right hand pocket, let's say. All the other ladies you weren't interested in, put them in the other pocket. So everybody he left with in that one pocket.
Yes.
Specifically, what is it about Costa Rican women that's so different from the women from your country?
Well, I think they're loyal. Age doesn't seem to matter. Many of them have excellent jobs and careers, and they're not interested in money per se. They don't have a problem with age differences like happens in the U.S.
We just went on a date today. It was wonderful here in San Jose. Went to a nice, beautiful Italian restaurant. Had a delicious meal. Did you like it?
Yes, I like it.
All right, guys, welcome back here in Phoenix. So, welcome back from Costa Rica, I guess. In this case, you got to see our office manager, Gustavo, and a lot of other stuff. So, now you know what to expect when you travel over there. So, and while waiting for your questions to be loaded, I've seen some of them. Some of the guys were asking about, for example, when we're gonna have a seminar in Texas coming up. We will have seminars in Houston and Dallas later on this year. We don't have the specific dates. Ask John, most likely it's gonna be sometime this fall, probably late fall. He cannot wait for the opportunity to travel to Texas and meet you guys there. It's one of his most favorite places to do seminars at. So, okay, let's go to your other questions. So, Speedman says, I've been to Costa Rica. Everybody was extremely friendly. Well, I mean, I think it's for all other destinations as well. It's just a common thing when you travel to foreign countries. But yes, Costa Rica is amazing. Joe says, I only know 2 Costa Rican women in real life, uncle's wife and family friend, older generation. Not enough to form an opinion of them. Well, this way you can just travel to Costa Rica, meet those ladies, and form your own opinion. The best way to do it. Ron says, reality show, how would that work? Would you fly guys into Phoenix to participate or actually tape the wild guys on the tours? So my understanding is those guys that want to go on a tour and agree to be filmed, but I don't have tons of details on upcoming reality show. Like John knows more because he's in charge of all that. But you can leave your contact information and we're gonna send you more details. So if it's something you would be interested in, definitely reach out to us. I personally know only so much, but again, I'm sure Michelle or John will be happy to answer that. James says the reality show sounds really interesting. Well, absolutely, James. Yes, if would be happy to see you on the reality show. So just reach out to us. That would be great. I think you're gonna do really well on that. Charlie says, hi Anna, how you doing? The answer to the poll questions. I came very close to dating a girl from Pakistan. She was 15 years old back on February 7th, 1993. You have particular memory. You remember what you were doing in 1993. I couldn't remember what I was doing 2 hours ago. To April 14th, 1993. She was in my homeroom class. She was sit next to me every day to talk out her life. I told her I like her and I wanted to be my girlfriend. She never spoke to me again. Question, how far advanced can I book a group tour to Ukraine to guarantee be on the list? Well, you can always just put a deposit of $475, so you don't need to pay the whole amount up front. The remaining balance is due like 30 or 40 days prior. So as soon as you know you can make it, just place your deposit. Worst case scenario, you can always just cancel it, and we'll apply your deposit towards another tour that you're ready to take in the future. But definitely reserve a spot. So if you're thinking about going this year in October, that's the only one we have left because July is fully sold out. But yeah, I'll be happy to see you in October. Or if you're waiting for the next year, we're probably gonna have a schedule out beginning of September. That's when we normally post the upcoming year schedule. Let's see what's the next one. Julian says, to answer the poll question, yes, I have dated women from outside of my home country. It's a very different experience from dating in the UK. Can you share what country was that? Just curious, because there's always those little details and nuances, just depending on the country. All right, more questions. Small Cake Springfield says, what happens at the seminar, and there going to be any seminars happening in Canada in the future? That's actually a good question, because we had seminars in Toronto a long time ago. We haven't done one in years, but I will bring it up to John and remind him about Canada. That will be definitely a good place to go. And also another one, good evening, I have a video chat set for Thursday, looking forward to it. Like, I'm sure you're gonna have a great experience. Just be prepared for that Zoom. As you know, it lasts 30 minutes. So you might wanna play, if you don't use Zoom very often, that you might wanna get on it, a few minutes early and just play with settings, make sure everything is okay, your mic is working fine, because we do have that happen quite often. Guys get in, but yeah, their camera doesn't work, or the sound is off, or something else. So make sure you do it, you check everything in advance, and don't waste those precious 30 minutes that you can spend talking to the lady, and and you end up just playing with the settings and troubleshooting the issues. So plan in advance. And remember, you cannot exchange contact information during a video call, so Global and International says, will be seminars in Texas. Yes, as I mentioned, most likely towards the end of the year, we're going to have something in Houston and Dallas. Jeremy says, not only dated someone from another country, I married her in Ukraine. That is amazing. Can you share more details? And Steve says, what do most men forget to bring on a tour with them? Well, sense of humor, but I don't think just nothing really specifically you need to bring. Just make sure again finances are prepared, so you have enough. If you pay in cash, make sure you have enough cash, that you contact your banks if you're using your debit or credit card, so they expect foreign transactions. If you're taking any medications, please make sure you don't put them in your luggage, because if your luggage is lost, so is your medications, and it's fairly important. So everything that that's valuable, put it in the carry-on. And I also recommend to put a couple sets of clothes in your carry-on, again, for the off chance your luggage gets lost and it takes 3-4 days most likely for you to retrieve it, and you don't want to walk around in the same set of clothes you traveled in, or go shopping instead of focusing on your dates. Just be prepared. That happened to me. My luggage got lost, I think, twice on the way to Ukraine. At that time, it was easier because you still could fly to Ukraine, so it didn't take that long for my luggage to get to me. It took like a couple of days, but yes, I had to. I didn't have clothes to go social. I mean, I can't show up in jeans, obviously, so I had to go shopping and buy all that stuff. 2 hours before the event. It was like, not the most pleasant experience. So yeah, guys, don't do that. But make sure you have the clothes with you. As far as everything else, nothing. Just make sure your documents with you. Nothing else you really need to bring. If you want to bring some souvenirs for the ladies, just something from your whole hometown. I don't know. Just doesn't have to be anything big. Just something symbolic, something cute. Maybe some chocolate they make over there, or something else, whatever your area is famous for. cactus candies for Arizona, I guess, even though it tastes horrible. So yeah, just think about it. Global International, tell us more about this reality show. Well, not much I can tell you. I learned about it myself today, so I got very general information from John about it. So just reach out to us, and John can tell you more about it. So leave your contact information with us, and John can give you more ideas on how that's gonna work. Paul says, I don't have a passport. How soon could I leave for Costa Rica? Well, technically, you can always apply for, the emergency passport. So as long as you have your tickets booked, you can schedule appointment with your local passport agency in your city. So, for example, in my case, so I live in Phoenix, but our closest one is in Tucson, which is like whatever, hour and a half, 2 hours drive from Phoenix. So you schedule appointment with them online, and you usually can schedule it within a day or two. And you go there, you show them your ticket, explain that you have urgent trip coming up and you really need your passport right now. And they're gonna, in my case, they print it out on the same day. So you just come back in a couple of hours and give you passport. If it's not urgent, then you go through the standard procedure and you just apply with your local postal office, and about 3 weeks to a month. So 3-4 weeks average processing time for a passport. So if you're thinking about going for the July 2nd, yeah, probably at this point I would consider getting the emergency procedure. Just explain you have a urgent trip coming up. Nate says, I'd want to know how much guidance you get once you're actually in Colombia or Costa Rica. Well, we do have amazing stuff in both destinations. So basically, you're gonna get as much guidance as you want. Just let our staff know if you have any questions, concerns. If it's for example, if it's your first international trip, you've never been abroad, they're gonna pay even more attention to help with the basic stuff, like help you exchange money, whatever it is, explaining how to get around, how to either call Uber, or if you're using the local apps, to call a taxi, how things work around. They'll be happy to help. And of course, when it comes to matchmaking, our staff is gonna get to know you, and they're gonna be able to make suggestions based on your preferences and what you're looking for, and to just make some recommendations. So they're also going to be working with your list that you provide us for individual dates, and they're also going to be giving you feedbacks. They know all those ladies personally, so they can sit down with you, say like, hey, so this woman Irma, like, she is nice, but probably her goals in life might be slightly different from yours. So for example, you're looking for a housewife and she's super career oriented, so you might save yourself a date and don't waste neither your time or her time, but about this woman, she might be more of what you want, and just go through your list and help you. So you're gonna get as much support as you want. We do also get guys that are super independent, they traveled a lot, they know what they're doing. So we barely see them on the tour because they do their own stuff. So if you don't need help, we're just gonna leave you alone. You do what you need to do. But if you need us, we're always there to help you. So you can call the staff, the tour leader at any time, and they're there for you. Eric says, I'm not against dating overseas, but I need the timeline laid out clearly. Well, so imagine you go on a tour tomorrow, right? So hopefully you meet a lady that you really, really like during that tour, and the feelings are mutual. As far as when engagement is gonna happen, that depends on two of you. That I cannot give you timeline on it. In some countries, the dating process is much faster than others. So in the Philippines, we do have guys that get engaged fairly fast. Within a week or two, they're already engaged. On other countries, the dating time can be longer. It could be 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, a year, whatever it is. So it just depends. Depends where you go. It will depend on your destination country. But once you're engaged, so whatever time frame is fine for two of you, you file for a fiancé visa. Right now, the processing times are 14 to 16 months on average. So it's taking longer nowadays. So that's why maybe I'd suggest don't take overly too long with the engagement, so you can get the ball rolling with the paperwork and continue dating each other, get to know each other better, because you still have over a year before her visa is approved and before she can come to this country. And once she comes, you guys have 90 days to get married. If you do not get married within 90 days, she has to go back to her home country because fiancé visa is non-immigrant visa. So, if you decided to part ways, no feelings hurt. She goes back home, and it is what it is. And after you get married, you file for green card, so adjustment of status. That time frame, well, I mean, that really depends. I mean, I know cases when for some people, people got the green card within like 3-4 months. For some people, it took a year and a half. So that's totally gamble, and that we don't know. So it just really depends on the office, on the city where you're located, which office is processing your documents. All right, let's see the next one. Matt says, I don't want a fantasy. I just want a place where being sincere isn't treated like a weakness. Well, in this case, dating overseas is a great option because the ladies are very nice, very sincere. They also are very family oriented. They're looking for us, for a serious relationship. So yes, you're in the right place. Brayden says, what are 3 most common questions do Ukrainian women ask on dates? That's a great question. Let me think about it. Well, I guess, they will, overall, they will ask how you see, the future life together as far as, after she moves. Do you expect, what your expectations? Like, for example, you want her to be a housewife, you want her to have a career, because it's obviously a very important thing. What's a kid situation? Because that's it's a really deal breaker. Because if you're not on the same page there's nothing you cannot negotiate. You cannot have halfway child, right? For example, if you're not looking to have a kid and really wants one, but again, there is no point of proceeding. But basically they're gonna be asking questions about potential future, and it can be a little bit different questions depending on the person and her experiences, her previous dating experiences. Before ladies would ask, would you be open, for example, relocating to her country? But right now, they're not going to be asking this question given what's going on in Ukraine, because the answer is pretty much no. But in the past, we had quite a few guys that were willing to relocate there, because again, Ukraine is a wonderful country. But yeah, right now they're not gonna ask that. JP says, what app replaced Skype for video calls with instant translation? So we're using Zoom now because Skype is no longer in service. They stopped operating like about a year ago or so. So we switched to Zoom. Bruce says, chemistry is one thing, but what happens 6 months later when the real life kicks in? Well, that really depends on two of you and what two of you makes it to, because that's going to be a lot of work on both people's side. Yeah, chemistry, as you said, chemistry is great, but also because you need to build a life together, you need to make sure at the early stage of dating that you have the same life goals, so you see future the same way. And discuss everything, from where you're going to be living, there's like big city, small town, middle of nowhere. What she wants to do when she moves over, if there's gonna be any issues that you can foresee, you want to discuss it with her. All the financial aspects, definitely, because it is a very big factor. You want to discuss it exactly how you see it, and she's gonna tell you how she sees it. And again, if you're on complete opposite sides of it, it's also not gonna work. So discuss everything. And since you're going to be doing a lot of long-distance dating, with this lady, it's important to stay in touch via video calls and show her where you live on the video call. So you're doing a video chat with her. So walk around your house. Okay, here's my house, here's a backyard, describe the city that you live in, again, the size of it, what's transportation situation looks like, because a lot of ladies don't drive, don't have a driver's license, and in America it can be an issue, obviously, especially if you live more in the rural areas. So that's something you would need to think about it. If she doesn't speak English, you really want to look up if there is any community college with ESL classes there to help her learn English. You want to help her to enroll in the English classes in her country while you guys waiting for a visa. So there's tons of things that needs to be covered. If she has a child, then you need to look for the schools in your area, what it takes to enroll in, a foreign student, and all the proper paperwork and everything like this. So think about every little detail. More conversations you have about those things in advance, less chances you're gonna, both of you gonna have unpleasant surprises when she moves in, because it's gonna be very stressful for both of you to begin with. Because for her relocation, it's a huge stress. For you, it's gonna be a huge stress to have somebody move in with you, with whom you really, only dated again long distance. So it's gonna be a lot of adjustments. She's gonna be getting used to the dirty socks laying around, and you're gonna be getting used to someone walking, in front of you 24/7. So there's gonna be so many things both of you need to adjust. So the first year, by default, it's very stressful. So cover as much ground as you can before she comes here. All right, more questions. James says, "Hi Anna, who do you back, JJ or Kyler for Vikes quarterback?" I just was watching footage for JJ McCarthy. It wasn't too impressive, and off season they say he's getting better, but I don't know. So we'll see. Let's see. We'll wait for the preseason to begin. Frank, I'd love to hear more about what happens after the first trip. Well, that again will depend. So if you filed for the fiancé visa right away, or you guys still want to spend more time dating each other and figure out if two of you are really ready for that. So you would need to either take some trips together, because ladies, in 95% of cases, they will not be able to come to the United States on a tourist visa just so you guys can hang out here. So you would either need to go back to her home country, or two of you can meet in a third country, maybe halfway, depending where she's from and all the visa situation. So you can spend time together, maybe travel around, spend as much time as you can, because it's not enough to just go on a tour, meet her, and then file for a visa and not see her for 14 months. Pretty much chances that those relationships will survive 14 months after not seeing each other. You go out on 3 dates and then you're gone for 14 months. So have a plan before you go there. So how you're gonna make it work? So make sure you have enough vacation time, so you'll be able to come back and follow up with her. And again, all the financial aspects in order and all those little things. All right. Airwolf says, either website that you go to if you're traveling by train or bus to Kiev from Warsaw, Poland. Well, if you buy the train tickets, you can buy that on Polrail website, polrail.com. A few things you need to know about it, because those tickets are actually paper tickets. It's not e-tickets, so you cannot, in most of the cases. So you need to book it in advance. I'd recommend 40 days out or something like this, because they're going to be mailing those tickets by FedEx or whatever it is to the US from Poland. So make sure there's enough timeline. But since I'm going in October, I'm thinking myself right now how I'm going to do it, because last time when I did it, they changed compartment situation. Before that, it was a normal option where they would have single person compartment or 2 people compartment. You pay a little extra, but you get more or less private situation. Last time it was, so I don't know. Well, it's like a torture room right now, because they came up with a 3 people compartment, and it's 3 layers of those beds, and the space in between is like this much. So you not only cannot just get up or move a little bit, but they also, if you're unlucky person who got the top shelf or middle shelf, it's super difficult to even get down. So if you need to go, get down, go use the bathroom or something, you're kind of stuck there. Last time I was taking the train like this, I had a very lovely lady. She was like about 65, and there was no ladder for her, so poor old lady had to crawl down from the 3rd shelf. I'm like, yeah, that was And you cannot select a seat, unfortunately. It's a gamble, so you get what you get. So I'm like, So normally I recommend the train, but now since they changed those arrangements, it was not that great. There is also a train going from Budapest. So if you want to go to Poland, you can do Hungary, but they end up having the same train too. So that's also out of the question. Somebody told me there was a train from Moldova to Kiev, but I couldn't find that myself. Again, I was just researching that, so I'm probably leaning towards taking a bus now, which I personally hate those buses because it's a long trip. So if you're doing it from Warsaw, there are quite a few bus companies that provide those buses. So it departs from Warsaw Airport and goes all the way to Kiev. But for the most average travel time, probably 16 hours, but you also can be stuck on the border, so it can be anywhere, between 15 to 19 hours easily. It is what it is. So if you do go with bus, you can just Google, bus Warsaw Airport to Kiev, and it will pull up all the bus companies. Flixbus is probably the easiest to book. That's not the most comfortable one. Their seats are a little too hard. I'm too old for this. But at least you can book 2 seats together, so maybe you can stretch a little bit. So, and it's not super expensive. I mean, on average, probably $40-50 per seat. So you're probably looking about $100 if you book 2 seats, plus minus. So yeah, so it's those are easy to book. Those electronic tickets that can be booked at the last moment, so it's not an issue with the bus. But trains got a little worse lately, so I'm monitoring that myself, see what happens. All right, more questions we have. Scotty says, how many dates are actually guaranteed versus just possible? Well, look, nothing is guaranteed. We can't guarantee number of dates that you're gonna have because there are so many factors. It will depend on your list and how realistic your list is. So for example, if you give us tiny list of 10 profiles with a huge age gap, so imagine if let's say you're 60 and you're giving us a bunch of profiles of girls in their 20s, unless it's Philippines, okay, that's a little bit different story. But if you're giving me, a bunch of 20 years old in Ukraine, you're not gonna meet any, and we're not gonna guarantee you meet anyone because it's just too much of an age gap. So let's keep it realistic about age difference and things like this. Give us a large list of lady. What I usually tell guys, again, as long as your list is reasonable, you're gonna meet about half of what you request. So if you give us about 40 profiles, you're probably going to have about plus minus 20 dates. And you can always submit more profiles when you're in the country. So if you're not getting sufficient number of dates, first of all, our staff can recommend some ladies that would be happy to meet you. And of course, they're going to continue working with your list. So you can keep giving us profiles, go through database. We post new profiles every Wednesday. So we have a backup list. We can continue working with you throughout that week that you're in the country. But unfortunately, no, we cannot guarantee the number of dates that you're going to have. Peter says, the tension comes from whether connection survives the reality. That is true. And Win says, if you're bitter and entirely in America, Colombia probably won't fix that. Of course, a lot depends on your attitude and your personality. So just because you change geography, you're still going to be who you are. So it is very important to just work on your personality, your attitude, and how, go about meeting people. If you're nice, friendly, have good sense of humor, you're going to do great. But if you're always negative Nancy, no matter where you go, you're going to have challenges meeting people. Christopher says, what happens if the woman's family does not approve? Well, that's their problem in most of the cases. I mean, unless you're dating 19 years old who still live with your parents and should really depend on their opinion, then yes, it can create some challenges. But as long as it's, more or less mature woman that lives independently, has her own job, and she's going to be deciding for herself. So usually it's not an issue. I mean, I've heard only few cases throughout, like what I've been doing for 15 years. I've heard only, less than 10 cases in 15 years when that was a factor, with the thousands of marriage. So usually it's not much of a problem. Blue Warrior says, so the question, is it normal for Ukrainian women to want to write back and forth on the site for several months before meeting in person? I'm new to all of this, so I apologize. Once again, that's a great question, and we always tell guys for years, do not write a lot of letters, because what happens a lot, guys start without even having the game plan in mind. They don't know where they're gonna go, how, when, the destination, the time frame. They just see a beautiful woman on the website, they start writing her, then see another beautiful woman, a completely even different country, part of the world. They start writing to her, and this, it's gonna get very time consuming, money consuming, adds up very fast. So don't do it this way. First of all, again, look at your vacation timeline. When can you go? And decide on destination. So for example, decide, let's say, on Colombia. So okay, so I'm gonna do Barranquilla, and I can go in September. So I would say if you want to write to the ladies, you definitely can. So maybe 2-3 weeks prior to your scheduled trip, reach out to some ladies that you find interesting, introduce yourself. So this way there's not enough time for you to get really seriously involved with correspondence, spend tons of money on it, and invest a lot of emotions in it as well. But there is enough time for you to introduce yourself, because when our staff is going to be contacting those ladies on your behalf and show them your profile is going to be most likely fairly brief, just going to have a generic information, a couple photos of you, where you live, your age, maybe height and weight, whatever you put in there, and maybe one paragraph. So that's not much information to go on for a woman to decide if she's interested in you or not. So you are your own best marketer, so send her a message, put a few paragraphs about yourself, sell yourself. And you can do it better than our staff in most of the cases, because you know yourself better than they know you, because they don't know you yet until you get there. So send a few messages, introduce yourself, and that's it. So if a woman's not interested, okay, there's no feelings hurt, you're just gonna go meet someone else. But it is gonna be very difficult if you write to someone for a year, you start, building this connection, building this emotion, then you go meet her in person, and it just doesn't work out for whatever reason. No chemistry, there's something else come up, you're just feelings are not there, because it takes two people to fall in love, and so many things can go wrong when you meet in person. So don't write to anyone for a year, have a game plan before you start the correspondence. Right, Cupid says, what are the bare minimum expectations women usually hope for a man to have? Character traits, etc. Well, that depends on the woman. It seems like for a man, there is no bare minimum. It really depends, on, for a guy to have expectations. I have one client, and I'm asking him, so what are you looking for a woman so we can do better matchmaking? He's like, I don't care as long as she feeds me on time. Okay, that's really your only request, as long as she feeds you on time? Okay, let's see what we can do with that. So, and some guys have super specific, it's usually engineers, usually have super long list of requirements. She's supposed to have symmetric face, she has to be natural blonde, her parents supposed to be either teachers or engineers. There's 3 pages list of requirements. I mean, I don't think that person even exists in reality with all those requests. So women is the same way. Some of them are super unrealistic, and they want something that just doesn't exist in real life. And some are normal. They want just have a good guy. Of course, with whom they have gonna have a connection, and of course mutual feelings, but somebody who's just naturally good guy, who's gonna be a good husband, good father, take care of the family, respect them, and treat them right. That's really the bare minimum for most of women, regardless of a destination. Blue Warrior says, I plan on doing the executive package sometime beginning of next year. Just wanted to test the waters. That's great. Yes, if you have any questions about it in the meantime, feel free to reach out to me. You can, my extension is 2008, so feel free to call the office. I'd be happy to give you more details on the executive plan if you do have questions. I think that might be the last question for tonight. I hope I didn't miss anything, guys. If I did somehow miss any of your questions, you can always email me. My email is travel@lovememail.com. I'm always there, always happy to help. So thank you for watching tonight, and I will see you next Monday.
Women in my country, it's a little more difficult to talk to them, you know. Women in Costa Rica are more approachable. Costa Rican women, they're very beautiful, they're very passionate, they're easy to talk to.